So Samsung's shiny new Galaxy S20 Plus is one of the first new flagship smartphones of 2020, serving up loads of sexy premium tech like a 120Hz AMOLED display, completely revamped camera hardware, and the latest One UI software smarts. Of course, this shiny gadgetry comes at quite the cost, starting from 999 quid. So the question is, how does the S20 Plus compare to one of the best flagship handsets of last year, the OnePlus 7T Pro, which is still pretty damn clever and cost you just 700 quid? Well, here's my full side-by-side comparison with Samsung's Galaxy S20 Plus and that OnePlus 7T Pro, so you know which one to throw your cash at. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now first up, both of these blows could definitely accurately be described as large. The OnePlus is a 6.67-inch beast, while the Samsung is a mite bigger at 6.7 inches. So if you're looking to compensate for something, then either will do the job. They're certainly both a handful, but both the 7T Pro and the S20 Plus boast very slender bezels surrounding those mighty displays to keep the form factor as manageable as possible. And despite being a wee bit bigger, the S20 is also lighter at 186 grams compared with the hefty 206 gram OnePlus. And Samsung also helps you out in the comfort stakes with a proper dedicated one-handed mode, while OnePlus makes do with an easy to pull down notifications bar, not quite as good. It is a glass finish on each of these handsets, though Samsung has gone for a fingerprint bait and gloss surface, while OnePlus opted for a frosted design instead, which I personally prefer as it's definitely easier to keep smudge free. Samsung's Galaxy S20 Plus is officially the big tough mother of this pair though, with its IP68 dust and water resistance. The OnePlus will definitely survive a lashing in a rainstorm, but it is not certifiably waterproof. So now let's check out these gargantuan displays, both of which use AMOLED tech for sky-high brightness, punchy colour reproduction and sharp contrast. The OnePlus 7T Pro boasts a proper full-view experience with no kind of notch intrusion, and that's because the selfie cam is one of those pop-up jobbies instead. Lovely stuff. Meanwhile, the Samsung S20 Plus has an Infinity O pinhole selfie cam stuck up at the top of the screen. It's centrally positioned, which makes it rather obvious when you're watching full-screen movies or shows. Although if you're really not a fan, you can just dive into the Galaxy S20 Plus's display settings and then hide that pinhole camera from view with a black bar. You get a mighty Quad HD Plus resolution with either device for pin-sharp visuals, and you can also play around with the colour output on them both too to suit your own personal preferences. Now the OnePlus 7T Pro and the Galaxy S20 Plus both serve up a nippy refresh rate as well. The OnePlus tops out at 90Hz, while Samsung wins that round thanks to its 120Hz screen. Although bear in mind that this feature is only available at Full HD resolution and not the maximum Quad HD. Still, Samsung has also added a 240Hz touch response rate to the Galaxy S20 Plus as well, which is perfect for any fast-paced action games like PUBG Mobile and Fortnite, where reactions are a key essential factor. And you've also got a bit of HDR10 Plus support on both of these blowers, but sadly no love for Dolby Vision. And while you have a dual speaker setup on these handsets, neither phone has a headphone jack, so it's dongles or Bluetooth all the way. On the performance front, the S20 Plus packs in Samsung's fresh new octa-core 7nm Exynos chipset, and meanwhile the OnePlus is powered by the Snapdragon 855 Plus platform from last year. You have a choice of 8 or 12 gigs of RAM on the OnePlus, while the Samsung comes with a whopping 12 gigs as standard, but either way you're going to be able to blaze through the latest games on those top detail settings with a brilliant, beautiful, smooth frame rate. The fans of PUBG Mobile and the like will love the dedicated Fanatic gaming mode here on the OnePlus 7T Pro, which dedicates all necessary resources to your session and prevents pesky background tasks from nicking your bandwidth. You can also block all incoming notifications if you want to stay properly in the zone. And Samsung's Game Booster tool on the S20 Plus can also help out gamers, complete with similar Do Not Disturb tools. And also on the performance front, you'll soon be able to pick up a 5G variant of the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus for a bit more cash. Sadly, the OnePlus 7T Pro does not offer a 5G option here in Blighty. You'll have to go back a generation to the OnePlus 7 Pro 5G for a bit of that action. On the battery front, Samsung has managed to find a bit more internal space for a large capacity cell. It's got a 4500 mAh battery versus the 4085 mAh battery stuffed inside the 7T Pro. That said, I am fully expecting the battery performance on the S20 Plus to be about the same as that OnePlus 7T Pro, as those Samsung Exynos chipsets seem to be a little bit less power efficient than Qualcomm's platforms. And also, Samsung's fast wireless charging tech is eclipsed by OnePlus's new Warp Charge 30T, which refills your drained phone in double quick time. Unfortunately, OnePlus does not support wireless charging on its flagship phones, unlike the Galaxy S20 Plus, which also has Samsung's wireless power share feature for sharing your juice with other Qi-supported gadgetry. As for storage, you get 256 gigs as standard on the OnePlus 7T Pro, while Samsung offers a choice of 128 or 512 gigs on the S20 Plus. And also Samsung's blower is the only phone to offer micro SD expansion, giving up to 1TB of bonus space. Now, it's very gratifying to see both Samsung and the OnePlus blowers come in with a fresh bit of Android 10 out of the box, although they both offer a slightly different UI experience as they've got the manufacturer's own launchers slathered on top. Samsung's One UI launcher is absolutely stuffed with new features and a bit more dense compared with OnePlus's OxygenOS, although both definitely deliver on essential features like gesture navigation and a snazzy dark mode. And they both certainly serve up plenty of customization options so you can tweak and fiddle to your heart's content. Both of these premium phones sport an in-display fingerprint sensor, which in Samsung's case is an ultrasonic scanner, although on both phones it is quick and responsive for unlocking your phone. You also have face recognition support, and while you have to wait for the OnePlus 7T Pro selfie camera to actually spring on up, it is at least a pleasingly fast action. From what I've seen so far, Samsung's new flagship phones also offer more powerful camera tech compared with the OnePlus 7T Pro. The older Galaxy S10 Plus flagship phones had more than their fair share of flaws when it came to photo capture, but the Galaxy S20 Plus seems to have rectified most of these quite happily. So let's just take a quick look at the hardware, and the S20 Plus serves up a 12-megapixel primary lens with built-in optical image stabilization, and that is backed by a 12-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens, a 64-megapixel telephoto camera, and a final depth vision lens. Meanwhile, the OnePlus 7T Pro sports a similar setup with a 48-megapixel primary lens, as well as a 16-megapixel ultra-wide-angle shooter and an 8-megapixel telephoto camera. There is no dedicated depth sensor though. After spending some time with the Galaxy S20 Plus, it certainly seems to improve on the S10's weaknesses, including less motion blur when you're shooting an active subject. You can capture pics at up to 64-megapixel resolution thanks to that telephoto lens, while the OnePlus tops out at 48 megapixels. Although either phone will grab plenty of fine detail in respectable lighting conditions, so your photos will look great when blown up. As far as the zoom chops go, both telephoto lenses deliver a 3x optical zoom, but while the OnePlus 7T Pro maxes out at a 10x hybrid zoom, Samsung's dramatically titled Space Zoom gives you a mighty 30x hybrid zoom, although of course at that max setting things definitely get a bit grainy, so don't get too excited. As for your home movies, both phones here can shoot 4K resolution video at either 30 or 60 frames per second, but the Galaxy S20 Plus goes a step further, boasting full 8K video capture. You can even pull 33-megapixel photos direct from your video frames when you're playing them back. And you get plenty of bonus camera smarts in there too, although the S20 Plus offers a lot more options than the OnePlus, including a Pro mode for video as well as that live focus video feature. And finally, as for the selfie cams, well, you get a 10-megapixel effort on the Galaxy S20 Plus versus the 16-megapixel selfie shooter here on the OnePlus. Both offer portrait smarts and will definitely do the job in a pinch for a bit of Instagram action. Although if you fancy yourself as a bit of a vlogger, note that the OnePlus 7T Pro maxes out at full HD video using that selfie camera, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus can boost that up to 4K resolution at either 30 or 60 frames per second. Very sharp stuff. And that right there is my full side-by-side comparison of the OnePlus 7T Pro and the fresh new Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. My question to you is that Samsung flagship worth the extra cash? It'd definitely be great to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a lovely week, people. Cheers. Love you.